Right guys, we're back for another YouTube video, and we're going to run through the new training split. We're going to run through a back session today. So because we come off the back of that contest prep, the body's still pretty vulnerable. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip the volume right back. So before we were doing a lot of high volume intensity increaser stuff, a lot of Patrick Tuer stuff that I learned when I was with him last year. But because we're trying to give the body a bit of a break, we'll move to a more low volume approach so that we're still making the most of this rebound coming out of this contact prep phase, adding tissue and whatnot, but we're not taxing the body so much that we're putting it back into a hole. You know, because we dieted for a year, it's a long time, so the purpose of this is just to kind of still make progress with the physique, but not, like I said, run it back into the ground as we've been doing before. So it's only 5 working sets for back. So what I'm experimenting with is just now as well is trying to push the rep range up to a 12-15 rather than keeping it low at like 6 to 10, which I've done previously. Basically my reasons for that was just what we kind of witnessed over the past 6 months is my back has like developed that kind of like 3D round look. And I kind of noticed in my logbooks and stuff that I wasn't doing anything below 10 reps, 12 reps. So we're going to keep doing that going forward. So we're going to try and create a bubblier, rounder, fuller look going forward. So that's the kind of game plan. That's across all body parts. So we're hitting sometimes with some sets for like say shoulders, we're hitting like 15 to 20 reps. Just to kind of see if we can develop a kind of rounder, fuller look. So we're going to run this training split for 6 weeks on paper just now. We might strip it back, just whatever. Because as always, we take it week by week and we analyse things and we kind of see what's the body doing here, what's the body doing there. And but yeah, 6 weeks is what I've got in mind. And then from there we'll decide what we're doing down the line from that point. But we're trying to, like I said, we're trying to really make the most. The body's super absorbent just now. It's been in a depleted state for a year. And everything that we shovel into it's going to kind of obviously help it grow. So Nick and I decided to just ramp the calories up from the get-go. Yeah, I'm not worried about gaining body fat. It's not really, I don't care. I know how to take it off. But right now, your body's not going to gain body fat so long as you're not binging and eating off plan all the time. So if we keep the sources nice and clean, even at a high calorie point, you're not going to accumulate as much body fat as you would if you were binging or eating off plan or whatever. So I'm not too worried about that just now. So yeah, it's a lot of food, so about 5,200 calories just now, which is the start of the off season. You can only imagine where it's going to go from that point. So I've been up to 8,000 before in previous off seasons, and so can't just jump straight back into 8,000. So I need to start at a decent point. But everything's handling really well. The appetite's really good. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting through food nice and efficiently. So only cheated a couple of times since coming off the back of that show. Speaking of the show, for those who don't follow me on Instagram, I came 4th at the Ben Weider, which is definitely not the result I wanted. I'm going to stop saying I'm going to turn pro because I'm definitely fucking jinxing it. That's 3 times I've done that, and I've lost 3 times. The guy who won, he was phenomenal from Czech Republic. There was a German guy in second as well. He must have been 30 pounds heavier than me, so I didn't feel I deserved 4th. I thought I came 3rd, but that's bodybuilding at the end of the day. You can't, it's subjective. So, but the show itself was great. It was great fun. Obviously, I was a bit bittersweet because I wanted to finish the season on a high, ended on a low. The worst result of the season, but you just got to take it on the chin. So we know what we need to do going forward, and I want to do the Arnold USA again in 2024, so that gives me 18 months to kind of push up, add the size I need. So I thought I was pretty close at the Arnold USA. Some may disagree with that, I don't care if you do, but if I can bring maybe 10 pounds more size with the same conditioning, I think I'm in a good spot to kind of hopefully take that first place eventually. So but I'm not going to talk about that anymore because I'll end up jinxing it again. So yeah, let's go talk through this training session, and yeah, you'll get to see kind of what I do straight off the back of contest season. So cheers guys. We'll start with rope pullovers. Like I said, we're doing one all-out set. With that, I'm also tapering down, so before I was doing some maximal sets for the warm-ups, so 20s, 15s, 12s, I'm not doing that anymore. So again, we're trying to really strip the volume right back. One, to give the body a rest. Number two, it gives us a new platform to build up from. So you don't want to go straight back into a new training routine where your volume is sky high, because then where do you go from there? You can't add more volume. So strip it right back down to almost nothing, gauge the progress from there, and then think about adding volume intensifiers and whatnot on top of that as the progression starts to slow. So, but anyway, so with this, I've done this for the rep range. So the rep range for this is 15 to 20. Done that last week with a full stack. So what I need to do today is probably slow the negatives down a bit more. So if we're looking for a 4-second negative, bump that up to a 5 and see kind of what we can do with that. So, but we're keeping it 6-4-1 warm-up scheme for almost, for every exercise, to be honest. So just to conserve as much energy as possible. So yeah, like I said, we're going to push the negatives up a wee bit, the eccentric phase, slow it down just a little bit more. So we've stacked this for the rep range that we need. So. Yeah, it was way harder. So not everyone has access to prime grips. But if you do, I like to use the underhand blade or the inverted one, where I walk it. It's one thing that a lot of guys miss is lower lats. That's one region at the back that always seems to be quite incomplete with some people, so it may be a bit of pseudoscience, a bit of bro science, but I definitely feel that underhand movements brings that lower lat in a little bit more than overhand. So some guys have lower in certain lats, some guys have higher. So it's up to you to kind of analyse your physique and just make sure that your exercise selection is what your body needs. So for myself, I like to a lot of neutral, a lot of underhand stuff. Not too much though, because if I do too much underhand, I get bicep issues because I've got quite dominant biceps. So, but yeah, you need to analyse your physique and actually see what you need to bring up. And obviously, the eye of a good coach will obviously help you do that as well. So. I'm going to do one all-out set, 12 to 15 reps with this. Or is it? Yeah, 12 to 15 reps. So I've done last week, so it's just done a numerical order, there's no actual weight. I've done 19, I've done one rep with that last week. I was like, I can get 20 reps with that. I bumped it up to 20 and only managed 8, so a bit short of the rep range, but that was the first week back, so probably gain those reps today. I don't know whose, I think I showed you this. I don't know whose chalk this is, but those who want respect get respect. Weight went up 11 pound from my stage weight, so it's probably a bit more than I'm used to. Occasionally, well, actually more often than not, my weight kind of goes down from my stage weight. But yeah, it went up 11 pound this time, so wait and see what it is on Saturday. Like I said, I'm not too worried about how hard I push up initially. Just from being in that state for a year, like, I'm kind of glad to be up and out it. So 11 pound isn't so bad. Accident waiting to happen. One thing I have noticed, my breathing is a lot more laboured. But I mean, if you put on 11 pound in a week, it's gonna do that. So I still think I look pretty good. I done my guest spot at the Granite City this past Sunday, and I thought it looked pretty good. So it's not as if that 11, like, it's not going to be body fat. That's just impossible. So majority of that's going to be water, and because I'm eating more food as well, that's more food sitting in my gut, which just adds to the body weight. So but yeah, we'll see what it is tomorrow. Like I said, I'm not fussed at all. Nick didn't want to push up the food, which I'm glad we didn't. That's probably pretty stupid. But yeah, see how the body's looking tomorrow, decide what we're doing from there. So like I said, the appetite's still pretty good. It's actually really good. Dumbbell row. We'll do one warm-up set, 6 reps, and then one heavy set. So last week I said I really want to kind of really nail my technique and form. Like with dumbbell rows, I've said a million times in these videos, I like being powerful, so I don't mind kind of being a little bit sloppier with a leg drive and not keeping it as crisp, but really focusing now on keeping that body like real rigid as much as possible. So which you'll see when I go up to the 80s. So we're going to do 6 reps of the 60s, just to warm up. Not necessarily warm up, I'm warm. It's more to get that movement in my head, just to kind of get everything ready to go. So a warm up doesn't necessarily mean to warm up. Still managing to fit into my girl's belt. Just. So I think I was there. So it's not too bad. It's a long time since I've had a lower back pump. Let that go before I do stiff leg dead. same again. This is one of the, I think it's the only exercise in the training plan that's a 6 to 10. I'm not doing hot stiff like deadlifts for 10 to 15 reps like that. So, what keep these heavy anyway? Maybe more of an ego thing, but you've got to have an ego thing for at least one thing out of the whole training plan. So, like I said, so eating food that I've eaten, cheating obviously a few times, so kind of holding a little bit more water. And there's also like a rebound from the show in terms of, you know, you dehydrate for the show to an extent. And there's also a hormonal rebound as well, so holding a little bit of water, that's where a lot of that 11 pounds comes from. So my lower back's on fire. Like, you've got to remember though, like, people bail out when their lower back's hurting, and I get that, I do, I'm sorry, it's so uncomfortable, but it's just lactate, water, it's just the accumulation of all those different aspects, so just try and fight through it. Easier said than done, obviously. Next level tomato there. Fucking hell. Just do one. Obviously we've done stiff leg deadlifts for a hip hinge movement. So they tie in obviously with the hamstrings. So after pre-fatigue in the back, also doing all the rows and pull downs and stuff before the stiff leg deads, I actually feel the stiff leg deads hit my back more than my hammies. But because there is a good bit of hammy work involved in them, I like to finish the back session off with a wee bit of hamstrings. So we're just going to do one set again on a seated hammy curl. I'm just trying to get the hamstrings finished off essentially. I don't feel I need to like overly focus on my hamstrings. I think I've got quite good hamstrings, so but I like to just tie it in after having done stiff leg deads. So. That's a wrap with the low volume back session. So coming off the back of that contest prep, we're not doing anything too ridiculous. You know, just trying to build that baseline of strength back up. From there, like I said, we've got that baseline of volume. We can then add to it once we feel the physique needs that, rather than going straight back into a training plan with 400 sets and drops and all that sort of shit. So, to be honest, don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying training a lot more with the food back in, but I am kind of glad we're not back to full pelt yet. Like I said, we'll just play it week by week. I mean, after the Arnold UK, I probably spent 3 weeks doing something similar, and then I moved back onto the higher volume stuff, but I was transitioning back into a contest prep, so I kind of needed that higher volume in there to kind of just add a bit more expenditure to to the week. So, but whereas we don't need to do that now. So the plan is an 18-month off season from here. Start the diet for again, this isn't written in stone, but for the Arnold USA 2024, I want to do a 25 to 20 week prep for that and just come in really slowly. Because essentially for the USA, the Arnold USA and the Ben Weider, we essentially done an 8-week prep because the first half we didn't really change anything at all. So we've done like an 8-week prep. I don't want to do that again. Don't get me wrong, I thought the Arnold USA was my best look ever, and I've got a lot to thank Nick. I've got to thank Nick a lot for that. But yeah, I'd rather do it real slow this time. Just come in, just keep my fullness, because almost every fucking show I do, it's always my fullness that I really struggle to rekindle and get back. It's like my body goes into massive overdrive towards the end, you know. So I'm really still trying to figure that out, and that's been 10 years of competing. So yeah, I want to do a slower one and just come in real slow. Anyway, that's ages away, 18 months. So I'm gonna keep these videos going. Hopefully you'll see my body kind of progress over that time period. I don't want to blow up. I don't have any ambition to be 300 pounds. If 300 pounds comes about, fair enough, I'll take it, but I'm not chasing scales. I'm just chasing a look. So, I mean, I competed at 249.7 or something the morning of the Ben Weider. Granted, that wasn't my best look, but if I could be maybe 3 to 5 pound heavier, a lot fuller, maybe leaner, then that's going to be a good look in my opinion. And you know, I want, because I've done the Arnold USA, I want that title now. Don't get me wrong, I'll be happy to. If I don't win that, there'll be other shows after that I try and get my pro card at. But I really want that title now. So, but yeah, I hope you learned a wee bit from that. You know, the body can only take so much, and the style of training that we're putting in just now is a way of just ensuring that the body doesn't completely fall to bits too early into the off season. So hope you enjoyed that. Again, follow, like, share, all that stuff, and yeah, cheers guys, thanks again.